How do pawn breaks create outposts in chess? Imagine a game where a simple pawn move can turn the tide of the entire middle game. That's what pawn breaks are all about. They are moves that challenge the opponent's pawn structure, often by attacking or exchanging pawns. When done correctly, they open lines, weaken enemy defenses, and most importantly, create opportunities for your pieces. One of the biggest benefits of a successful pawn break is the formation of an outpost. An outpost is a square deep in the opponent's territory, where a piece, usually a knight, can sit securely without fear of being pushed away by pawns. Here's how it works. When you push a pawn to challenge or exchange an enemy pawn, it changes the shape of the pawn chain. This can remove or weaken enemy pawns that are controlling key squares. Once those pawns are gone or displaced, they leave behind a square that pawns cannot easily attack or contest anymore. This square is called a weak square or a hole. Because pawns cannot jump over each other, this hole becomes a perfect spot for your piece to settle. Placing a knight on this hole turns it into an outpost. The knight on an outpost is very hard for the opponent to kick out. It can control many important squares and influence the game from deep inside enemy territory. This position often supports further attacks or helps control key areas of the board. For example, in many openings like the French defense or the hedgehog structure, pawn breaks such as c7, c5, or b for b5 open lines and create outposts on squares like d5 or c5. When black plays c7, c5 in the French defense, it challenges white's center and can leave a d5 outpost for black's knight if white cannot contest that square with pawns. Similarly, white pushing b for b5 in the Sicilian or hedgehog structures can open the b5 square for a knight or bishop to sit comfortably. Having an outpost is a strategic advantage. It allows your piece to exert influence over the board, restricts your opponent's mobility, and can support attacking plans. Pieces on outposts can threaten the enemy king or target important pawns and pieces. They act like strongholds, anchoring your position deep in enemy territory. So, in essence, pawn breaks are more than just pawn moves. They are tools to reshape the pawn structure, create weak squares, and establish outposts. These outposts give your pieces a safe, powerful base from which to control the game and launch attacks. Mastering when and how to execute pawn breaks is a key part of middle game strategy, helping you turn small positional advantages into decisive pressure.